we are actively trying to cram in one more of uh, these NPC uh, combat defend the Citadel rounds or matchups in round one before we have our second team of West Marchers joining us in this evening. So what I'm going to do real quick is just test that my sound is working. It sounds really echoey. I don't know why. I'm really sorry. There's a lot of feedback or hum or something. And I don't hear it anywhere but the stream. So I'm not sure why that's doing that. But whatever, you can hear me. It doesn't need to be perfect. And we're moving on. Okay, so here we go. We are going to do the Black Iron Pact. Nice. And I think I've figured this out. Negative 12. If I go negative 12, right, it's 10. Cut myself off. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so let me go to my people here. And actually, we're going to go to combat. And I've got all of these folks. I'm going to select them, put them into combat. So up top here, we've got our Soulbinders. And down at the bottom here, we have the Black Iron Pact. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of an intro here. So, who are the Soulbinders? Well, a millennia ago, Soulbinders were a mortal band of explorers until Prince Ellen Farah traveled with his sage advisor, a duo of mercenaries and a spelunker guide, to find their eternal reward, a scroll containing an ancient ritual to grant immortality. A couple of people have been after these immortalities, or the quest for immortality in this world. And these folks figured it out, or at least that's what they say. That's the legend. So that's up top. We've got Argon Rail here. Argon's badass. We've got Kashina Darwind, a fun little monk. We've got Radley, the Grim Thugrim. The Grim over here, she's a badass. Got a big fighter vibes here. And Scarlet Shadow. Scarlet Shadow has actually participated in the sword competition for a couple of years here, and done quite well. Down at the bottom here, the team that will be sieging are the Black Iron Pact. Black Iron Pact, of course, has Canon, Athenodorus, Athenodorus. Oh boy. Athenodorus. There it is. Canon. Either way, it's Canon there. Big paladin dude. Stonky. Cloak. Cloak is a sick rogue here, doing some fun rogue stuff. Carr, the master of jackals, is going to be a fun matchup up against the Grim here, or not the Grim, Kashina, because both of them are they're sparring. They're monks in terms of their class structure, or at least they're NPCs, so they're not monks or paladins or whatever, but they're very similar to monks. And we've got, of course, the leader of the Black Iron Pact, Lord Erasmus Deseo. And Deseo, with his wife Avala, the Lady Avala, have been thorns in the West Marcher side, or vice versa, really, depending on who you're talking to, for a couple years now. So we've got those folks. That's our team set up, and now for some of the matchups here in terms of their units that they're commanding in this battle. We obviously, each of them Challenge rating 3, so the proficiency is 2, which means half of that is going to be 1. And that's pretty much everybody here. Even though they have a proficiency of 3, challenge rating 7, they are going to also be commanding 1 unit each. Now, we saw in the last matchup how quickly a weaker team is decimated, even with a massive advantage. The Black Iron Pact has less of an advantage here in phase 1 of our Defend the Citadel competition. But we'll see what happens. I'm ready to roll initiative for all of them, so we're going to see where they will be acting in the activation for this. But before that, let's talk about, the different bonuses that they're going to get. Oh, and I didn't describe where the Black Iron Pact is from. The Black Iron Pact is they're not exactly a group of mercenaries, but they are, they follow the house. The Deseos answer to the House Blade, which is one of the great houses of Muspelheim Morel, one of the great cities in the Empire of Muspelheim. Muspelheim is basically the closest kingdom, well, the empire, the fallen empire, the old, ancient empire of Muspelheim, is this like forgotten, debilitating realm that is across the Lake Bone Bottom. And I'm just gonna hop into this real quick so y'all can see. So essentially, Eventide is here, and we've got Glisterhelm down here, and Glisterhelm is the capital of Xerdani, the Gleaming Realm. So the Gleaming Realm basically is like nestled in here between Muspelheim, which is Bone Bottom, and the Sun Peaks, which are these mountain ranges. So between the lake and the mountains is where the Gleaming Realm of Xerdani is. And at the very edge is Eventide. Eventide, of course, being further away, is able to be the home of the West Marchers. That's where they're from. And they march westward, out past Xerdani's edge, to the different areas outwards. They can even march east, but essentially to leave, you have to march westward away from Glisterhelm and Skrillbend, past Eventide, and through the west gate of Eventide, beyond Xerdani's edge. Down here, you can kind of see it. This is Muspelheim Morel, Water's Edge. The common Xerdanian tongue for this city is Water's Edge, just because it's on the edge of the water, across Bone Bottom from Glisterhelm. But there it's, the Muspelheim name for it is Muspelheim Morel, and the Muspelheim name for Bone Bottom is Muspelheim. And Bone Bottom is just called Bone Bottom because the no ships pass through, and it essentially looks like the corpses of these ships are left across the bottom of this lake, creating Bone Bottom. Okay, so they are one of the great houses, House Blade. There are different families and individuals that serve different one of the 7 great houses, and of course the great house here, House Blade, has the Deseos following it, and the Deseos are the leaders of the Black Iron Pact. Also famously, these 4 did try to assassinate one of the West Marchers in the Tour de Xerdani 2 years ago. Big plot point. All right, so we've got in this setup, we have a morale surge for Kashina Darwind. So Kashina over here, she's going to get a morale surge later in the combat. She also gets an additional warfare unit of tier 4, and that is going to be the Ashen Lance. So she will be commanding the Ashen Lance, as well as the Grim. The Grim over here is given an additional warfare unit from tier 1. That's going to be the Skeletal Cavalry. Seeing as they're like kind of ancient individuals, basically all of their followers would be dead at this point. So they are leading an army of undead, and that's the theme. And the Black Iron Pact is leading an army of elves, because Deseo is human, but we've got a couple half elves and stuff like that here. Okay. Let me see. So that's Kashina. That's the Grim. Scarlet Shadow gets a martial advantage of tier 3. So I'm going to do real quick. Look up our martial advantages before I start. The Grim is going to be close to, or sorry, Scarlet Shadow. It's kind of like an assassin sort of thing, an assassin fighter. So we're going to use a fighter martial advantage. And that is tier 3. That is going to be charge. So charge is when any cavalry unit this commander controls makes a successful power test as part of an attack. That unit can use a reaction to deal 1 casualty to any unit opposite it. Unfortunately, the Grim, or Scarlet Shadow, doesn't have that. So I'm going to give it one more shot here. And we're going to say, what is the rogue? Oh, scout training. Choose a number of light infantry units this commander controls equal to half the commander's domain size rounded up. Each of these units has the Scouts trait. Great, so we will use Scouts trait for this. Are they commanding infantry? They're not. They're commanding... Okay, so there's nothing... This is a wash here. Nothing good comes out of that. Damn, that sucks. Okay, so Scarlet Shadow not really getting any bonuses here, even though, let me see, sorry, Horde, or no, who is this? This was Eventide Townsguard. Eventide Townsguard, apologies. No effective bonus for our boy Scarlet Shadow. Okay, let's see. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes the morale surge doesn't even have an opportunity to happen. And sometimes the martial advantage just doesn't work out. Apparently additional warfare unit, even with the tier 1, doesn't really do much. So yeah. Sometimes they just get unlucky. Continuing, though, with our bonuses, there's a lot of bonuses in round 1. Additional warfare unit tier 1 for Erasmus Deseo from the Horde. So that's going to be our elf cavalry here. They're ready to go. They got an additional warfare unit tier 2 from Erasmus Deseo. So that's going to be... That's cannons. That's cloaks. Oh, right. The elf artillery ballista. Yeah, they got a ballista. Nice. So the Eventide Townsguard, you've given a ballista to Lord Erasmus Deseo. That's going to be more beneficial for you there. And you've also given an additional warfare unit tier 3 to cannon. Right here. Elf Pegasus Riders. Nice. So those are aerial Pegasus Riders there. Definitely going to help out. And the additional warfare unit tier 4 to Carr, Master of Jackals, given by the Wild Sands of the South. And that's going to be the Pathfinders. This is going to be huge for them because Find Path is actually a crazy trait as a bonus there. So very good call. I'm not sure who's going to win here, but just to read this stuff here, Find the Path. When you deploy this unit, place 2 hidden path tokens, one on each side of the battlefield, wherever you choose. Any elf unit can move between spaces with hidden path tokens as if they were adjacent. Any unit that is not an elf unit takes 1 casualty if it ends its activation on a space with a hidden path token. Any unit, yeah, it takes 1 casualty. That's crazy. If a rank with a hidden path token collapses, the token moves forward into the closest space that is not collapsed. The hidden path tokens remain on the battlefield until the end of the battle. So that's actually really fucking good. And they are going to place their token there. It's going to be their activation. And we will see how that goes. In addition to that, though, they also have Strength of the Wilds. So Strength of the Wilds, while this unit is in a space with a hidden path token, it is advantage on attack tests. So if this thing is in the path token, it's got advantage on attack tests. If anyone else is in a space where the hidden path token is, it just automatically takes a casualty because the elves are able to come in hidden and just wipe them out from the side, flank them hardcore. That's great. So great call there. And then of course the Ashen Lance is crazy. They got plagued. So plagued is when this unit makes a successful power test as part of an attack. The target gets a poison token in addition to the normal effects of the test. Each poison token inflicts one casualty. So, yeah, they're just getting plagued by this Ashen Lance, which is awesome. Okay. So that is the conclusion of all of our bonuses here for this round, and I'm going to finish it off just doing some housekeeping here. Take my purple, take my dark blue. Great. So they've been identified and they're good to go. So really we just have a morale surge. And that's the only thing other than what I've already discussed. So Kashina is going to get a morale surge in the combat. Everybody else is right here in phase 1. All right, so we are going to roll initiative here. Boom, right off the top. Argon Rail is going to have first activation, but Lord Erasmus DeSeo rolled the least. Now, what's great about initiative when it comes to a Lord Erasmus DeSeo is this guy. Black Iron Pact. Let me go down to his stat block real quick. He has what I think is called Master Tactician. And it is, in fact, called Master Tactician. Master Tactician. At the start of a combat encounter, Erasmus chooses when he acts in the initiative order after all other creatures have rolled initiative. Now, that's worded very specifically. So it's at the start of the combat encounter, not battle. So I'm not going to allow that to happen. So that's good to know. Just looked up the words. So Argon Rail there. Kashina. Scarlet Shadow. Okay. Lord Erasmus is going to place his units first, and he's going to... Well, it appears I move first. And he's going to place the Elf Artillery in the center. He's going to place... Is that all he's got? No, he's got one more. There it is. The longbows. So he's going to place his artillery right there. Boom, boom. In the center. Pretty straightforward. He's got 1 plus an additional second tier. And he has an additional first tier, which he's got in the cavalry and aerial. So he's good to go there. Yeah. All right. So that's his placement. Next up is Cannon. Cannon has a tier 3. Does he have a tier? Oh, additional warfare unit tier 3. Did I not place that? Whoops. Bradley's got those. Scarlet got that one. Kashina has that one. Argon has that one. Scarlet got an additional +1. The Grim got an additional 1. And Kashina got an additional 4. Cannon should have an additional 3. So I am going to add another warfare unit. They're using undead. And they've got tier 3. Black Wind, baby. Uh-oh. And this is for Cannon. Wait, am I doing this wrong? Did I forget who Cannon is? I did forget who Cannon is. My gosh. Cannon's up. Tier 3? Is this it? That's Cannon. Oh, boy. Wow. This is, folks, I'm really bad at my job. I'm acting my wage right now. They're already set with their Elf Pegasus. Car's got these, so they should have one of these +2. There it is. Force Mist. Force Mist is going to be up there. That's pretty good. And then we've got Car, Master of Jackals. They've already got their stuff in the rear. Everyone is secured if they're in the rear, so that's fine. Yeah, we want that. Okay. After that is Cloak. Wow, really? Uh-oh. It's just team combat, isn't it? So they're just taking turns as teams. Crazy. It's Cloak. Forest Mist. Gonna go there. Oh, Car Master Jackals already. Yeah, we'll go there. They're gonna want to keep those. Okay. Next up, Kashina. Kashina has the Ashen Lance. That's in position. Kashina's got the Ghoul Infantry. I think that's it. That is. Okay. Now it's Radley the Grim. They're going to sit there. Basically, Kashina is like, troops, forward. Forward into the fortress. We will defend these city gates. And Cloak just points. And the Forest Mist moves. Cannon over there. This guy says, my followers, my brethren, the Lord of Light speaks through us, and we shall rain down this holy thunder onto our enemies. Great. So the Force Mist is there. The Elf Pegasus Riders are there, and he goes, "Riders, take to the skies," and they fly up, and a holy radiant light comes down from the heavens behind them and kind of blinds them. The crowd is loving this. Crowd's loving the enthusiasm and theatrics of what's going on there. Car Master of Jackals just kind of like laughs and spins, kind of like, you know, cracking his knuckles, like doing the whole fighter. It's very Street Fighter-esque kind of stuff. And the elf artisans behind him do similar things. So these are more like monk-like elves that are getting hyped into it. Okay. Kashina the Grim here. It's Kashina. Kashina is doing the same thing, kind of hyping them up, jumping and saying, "We'll take, all right, well, we'll take the city gates." And then we've got Kashina. Kashina's got the Ashen Lance. And Kashina should have one more. No, Kashina, yeah, did that. Yeah, Kashina was like, "Let's take that." Bradley the Grim. Oh, yeah. It's like, "Volunteers with me." And so we see these bone bags start moving, and it's literally just like the skeletons. "Volunteers, come with us." And they move, cracking of the bones and the feet. Okay, Scarlet Shadow. Scarlet Shadow's got one of these folks. And I think that's it. And the Grim points to the skeletal cavalry. "Take foot." And they prance off. They gallop off. Next up is Scarlet Shadow. Scarlet Shadow is going to place those skeletal archers in the center because they have to. And they've got more skeletal archers in the center. And Argon Rail looks and goes, "So to the front, where we will stand." So this rank is going to collapse. Okay. And now we begin. Argon Rail. First, before any activation happens, the Vanguard, those acting in the Vanguard, will be able to have an action here. And so what they're going to do is the Force Mist. Real quick. Yeah, they're going to start. So the Force Mist at the city gates here. The Ghoul Infantry get a +2 to defense. So Force Mist gets +5. They're going to need to beat a 13, so they need an 8 or higher here. Let's see how it goes. That's 17. So right off the bat, 17. This Ghoul Infantry, oh, they're harrowing. So Force Mist, I'm going to re-roll. Because they need to succeed on, I think it's a power test. Any opposed infantry, cavalry, or aerial unit must first succeed on a morale test. 10 plus this unit's tier. So it's 12. So they need to succeed on 12 morale test. They get into the breach. Scouts, Harriers. Oh, they get scouts. Fuck, man. They're just going to do... Yeah, they're gonna ignore this entirely as scouts, and they're just gonna pop up both of these right in here. And then we are going to say that this rank is collapsed. I think that's fair. And then these folks are exposed, but the elf artillery is not exposed. Okay. And so because of that, there is no activation or pre-activation. So we are going to begin. Mobile Eternal Fast Siege. Great. Okay, so Argon is gonna stand straight. They're gonna hold off. Yeah, there's no benefit. They're not on a time crunch because they are not, you know, half or less. So they're gonna hold this position in the city walls. Argon stand. Hold your ground. They will come to us. All right. And then it's got the infantry. I think that's it. Scarlet's got both of those. Yeah. Okay. Next up is Scarlet Shadow. Scarlet Shadow's got 1-2 here. So first thing they're gonna do is try to pop off. They're gonna try to hit these Pathfinders here, because if they can take the Pathfinders out, that's beneficial. So right off the bat, oh, and they with Eternal, this unit has advantage on morale tests against undead or fiend units, and on the morale test, to attack units with the harrowing trait. So they just have advantage on morale tests. It's a pretty good matchup. Eternal, mobile, find path, strength of the wilds. And sorry, folks, I'm just double checking strength of the wilds again. Oh, it just has advantage on attacks. Okay. So it has advantage on attacks. All right. This one is attack 3. They always succeed on morale tests. Uh-oh. I just got a text. All right, it's 5:30. I've got an hour and a half, so I got to take this. I gotta get down here. All right, that's not dead and harrowing. Don't really do anything here. So attack is +3. They're up against defense of 16, so they got to get a 13 or higher. Oh, that's a nat 20, baby. They're gonna try to take these folks out. This is the start of the upset here. That's 5. Okay, and they've got power. Power's +1. Their toughness is 16. I don't know, man. A 15 or higher. No, not one. Absolutely not. Okay. So they're going to hold. Arrows rain down on the Pathfinders. Yeah, taking their first damage here. Next up, it's going to be the more longbows, skeletal archers, and they're going to fire. They have +2 to their folks, I think. Let me go up here. Oh, to fortifications. They're in a guard tower, so nothing to their attack, but they get a +3 to their attack. They need a 13 or higher. A nat 20. There, let's go, baby. Awesome. I feel like I gotta change the rules and make a nat 20 do 2. That's kind of like that would be awesome, just to take another one, or you get advantage on your power test or something, you know. They're doing their power test here. They've got a +1 to power. They've got to beat a 16. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. Okay. So what's crazy is that the Pathfinders are down to 4 casualties. I think that might be the end. No, there's still some options here, but they definitely, yeah, they've been decremented. They've taken casualties from these arrows just raining down on them. Next up is the Grim. The Grim over here is sitting with these bone bags, but the bone bags can take some attacks here. So they're going to go after these forest mess here. First off, attack is +2. They got to beat a defense of 14. It's just going to miss. Damn. And the second one is going to attack the one to the left there. That's a 10 on the die. So both miss as they're defended against these attacks from the bone bags. These skeletal, just like skeletal soldiers and with pitchforks and like scythes and things and kind of walking. Basically, any of the just destroyed bones that have just followed the Soulbinders in the past are turning and just swinging at these, veteran, the veteran elves in their leather armors, just blocking, parrying, fighting back. Awesome. Okay. The Grim, though, does have a skeletal cavalry, and they're going to use that against the Pathfinders. So they're going to attack. That's +3 to attack. It's up against this defense of 16. Let's see what happens. 11. All right. So the Pathfinders this time parry off this skeletal cavalry as it charges across the field. Finally, Kashina Darrowwind here. Kashina is going to hold that ghoul infantry in the front, and you can see she's commanding this from the top of the city tower, the city gates, standing there going, hold, hold. And next up is the Ashen Lance, though, and the Ashen Lance, this is where we can see some damage here. The Ashen Lance has a +11 to attack, and they have Plagued. So again, when this unit makes a successful power test as part of an attack, the target gains a poison token in addition to the normal effects of the test. Each poison token inflicts 1 casualty. So they have 2 attacks. They do 2 damage for each successful power test. And they do an additional poison token. Whew. Here we go. So the Pathfinders have 4 casualties. Their defense is 16. The Ashen Lance have a +11. They need a 5 or more. That's 15 for the first one. So, right off the bat, they're going to take 1 casualty from 4. That brings them down to 3. That's going to make this unit diminished. They need to make a morale test to see if they're going to get diminished again. Their morale is +4. It is the first time a unit is diminished in a battle, it must succeed on a DC 13 morale test or immediately suffer 1 casualty. This is the first time it's diminished. Can they be diminished with the Eternal thing? I don't think. They get something. No, they don't get advantage on this, though. Okay. So their morale is +4. It is a DC 13. They need a 9 or higher. 16. Pathfinders standing there strong. Who's it? Carr, the master of jackals. Carr just starts dodging. Let's stay loose. And okay, so they're diminished. Now comes the power test from the Ashen Lance. Power test is 9. The toughness is 16. So they got to get a 7 or higher. It's 5. Not going to do it. The Pathfinders are still alive, but they get 2 attacks. So they're going to go again. All right. Ashen Lance going to roll here. 16 plus 11 is going to hit. That's going to bring us down to 2 casualties remaining. And now comes the power test. Again, that's a toughness of 16. They've got a +9. They need a 7 or higher. Nat 20. Our first casualty is going to be the Pathfinders and poisoned as they are removed from the field. These units are broken. And they flee. As the Ashen Lance, these white cavalry, right? So a bunch of these like undead whites are flying. These elite heavy armor as this like very Return of the King undead army on cavalry just swarming the Pathfinders, and they turn around in the circle and come in. And even though the first attack was volleyed off by these strong elven warriors, the next attack just completely decimates them and breaks their unit. The Black Iron Pact lose 4 of their points total right there, and that's 13. Holy smokes. Round 1, pretty big decimation there, but we're going to see what happens here. Okay, Cloak is up. So, Cloak where's Cloak? Oh, Cloak's all the way up here, right? There's Cloak and Cannon. Yep, so Cloak is going to attack here. All right. So Cloak, Forest Mist, they've got a +5 to attack, and you're going to see Cloak just kind of points. And they just magically appeared, right? As if from these elf magic, just appears, and they point over at the bone bags. They get advantage on the harrowing morale test. All right, advantage here. That's another nat 20. And up comes the attack. They get +5. They need to beat a 9. 3 is not going to do it. That is crazy. So even though they succeeded and they look into these undead bone bags, they just point again, and the force must move. But these bone bags block with shields, and even though they slice off arms, they still keep coming, and they're moving. Not enough casualties taken to really do any attack here. They do have Harriers, though. Yeah, it's crazy. There's nothing they can do. Okay. So that's it for the Forest Mist. And that's it for Cloak. Woof. Next up is Carr, Master of Jackals. Carr's got the Artisans. And that's it. Artisans, we do not want to move. So they're not going to. They're going to stay right there. They're not going to do anything. Carr's like, hold the line. As they're moving. Okay. Cannon's got some stuff to do. Cannon's got this sucker. They want to take out the bone bags. Get some points. So Cannon gets Eternal. Gonna get advantage on this Harrow. Yep. They're gonna pass there. And then they've got a +5 to attack against a 9. 7's gonna do it. So right there, we're gonna drop and decrement those bone bags to 3. We're gonna get a power test here. Power test is gonna give them a +4. Yeah, +4. They got to beat a 12. 18's gonna do it. So they're gonna decimate another casualty. Decrement another casualty. And now the bone bags. Bone bags are dead. They automatically see it on morale tests. And they cannot be diminished. So they are not diminished at all. But what they can do is, let me see. That was the attack. That was the power. They drop down. They're Harriers, so the bone bags can only attack the Forest Mist here in their next activation. That's good to know. So Cannon's like, we break through. We destroy. The Lord of Light has struck down from the heavens. And these unholy creatures will fall to the light. Cannon also has these Pegasus Riders. They go, strike down now. And they're gonna go after this. They're Eternal. They get advantage on these Ghoul Infantry at the front here. So they get advantage. 17's gonna do it. So now they're gonna attack. Their defense is 5, and they've got a +7 here to attack. So +7. Their defense is 11, so we got to beat a 4. Oh yeah. Ghoul Infantry is going to take a casualty. And now we've got a power test coming. That's going to be 4 + 3 is 7. It's not going to beat the toughness of 14. So this is going to stay. Okay. Yep, that's going to do it. Oh, and they get +2 to their defense, so they should have a defense of 13. Is that it? That's it. All right. What's this? Elf cavalry. Sure. Deseo's up. Cracks his knuckles. Now let's show them a fight. Elf archers. Archers are going to fire over at the Ashen Lance that have taken them out. Harrowing. They have harrowing as well, so they're going to do that command, that morale. It's going to succeed. They're going to be able to attack. They've got a defense of 15. This is the archers have an attack of +4. 8 is not going to do it. Arrows fly out, but the Ashen Lance just glides straight through. The whites, this necrotic energy just emanating from them as the arrows either break or disintegrate in purple necrotic haze. And then the ballista here, we're going to do a fast siege weapon. This unit can attack fortification. It automatically hits. Deals 3 damage. So this is where it's going to be fun here. So the guard tower has hit points of 8. Or no, 6. Guard tower's hit points of 6. So boom. They're going to take 3 hit points. And immediately it's going to shake. What I'm doing is I'm just reading to check to make sure that it doesn't damage only units with blah, blah, blah. So great. So they only suffer a casualty when the fortification actually breaks. It is damaged now, and we are looking at it automatically succeeds and deals 3 damage. Great. So that's it. Boom. Done. 3 damage to that guard tower. Next up is the archers. Archers are going to fire. The archers are going to fire on... Oh, no, they did the Ashen Lance. Yeah, they did the Ashen Lance. And now it's the cavalry. Cavalry is going to go after the Ashen Lance as well. Ashen Lance is 15 defense. They have a +4 to attack. 17. This is the first time they're going, so it's actually... I'm going to keep that 17 and roll with advantage. 18. So they beat the harrowing trait. Now, I think elf archers has succeeded. The artillery has succeeded, or doesn't need to succeed. And the cavalry and the Pegasus Riders have all succeeded. So they are able to go. Everyone has succeeded on their harrowing, so they don't need to worry about the harrowing for next round. And now the cavalry. Cavalry is +4 to attack. Ashen Lance is +11 to attack. Or, sorry, defense is 15. That is not going to meet it. So, even though the elf cavalry feel confident and are overcome their fear of chasing after the Ashen Lance once again weaving in and out, and this necrotic energy just bursts as this cavalry comes in with swords and pikes and are unable to attack. Argon Rail is back up. And God help me if I forgot everything about where Argon Rails is. Great, it's literally just the infantry. Argon is going to laugh. Hold. Great, Scarlet Shadow is up, and they're just going to let loose here. Cannot believe this is working. So they're going to fire on the elf artillery. They're going to fire on the ballista. It's a defense of 11, and they are +3, so it's an 8. That's a 6. It's going to miss. And then the second longbows are going to fire. It's a 3. Woo! So the elf artillery. But still, all these arrows rain down. But the elf artillery, the ballista, cranks back. This ballista as it locks and is ready to go for the next attack. That's the end of Scarlet Shadow, I think, unless they get... No, yeah, they just have those two. Okay. The Grim is up. The Grim gets cavalry and bone bags. Yep. Okay, so bone bags gonna attack first. Bone bags are gonna try to, both of them. We'll start over here. They've got a +2. They're trying to beat a 14. Hey, they did it. So these folks take 1 casualty, and then the bone bags are dead. So they get a +1 to their power. Uh-oh. I gotta go down and find that. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. I love dropping dice. Okay. +1. Nope. Okay. Next up is the attack here. Attack for the second one. That's a 12 on the die plus attack. It's 14. 14 meets. So 1 casualty. And then they've got toughness of 14 +1 power. It's 14 on the die, baby, right there. That's going to do... Yeah. That's going to do another damage. Okay. Hits are happening in the rear over there. And then they've got the Ashen Lance. And the Ashen Lance, right? No, it's Kashina. Bradley's just got the Skeletal Cavalry. Cavalry is going to go after this Elf Artillery. Let's see. That's going to be +3 to attack. That's a 11 defense. 6 is not going to do it. So the cavalry come around and try to do this, but those folks that are manning the artillery, these elves are just blocking off this skeletal cavalry and push them away. They still keep... You can hear calls and whatnot. And Deseo just kind of laughs. Even in life, you would not be able to defeat us and break our lines. Here we go. They're going to go to Kashina, though. Kashina has the school infantry, which doesn't do anything, and that's great. and then the Ashen Lance. The Ashen Lance are going to come around and also try to take out this elf artillery. Everybody's targeting the elf artillery. They got an 11 defense and a 10 toughness. They've got plus 11. So they just need a roll a 1. And they rolled a 9. So that brings them down to 5. And then here comes their power test. Power test is a 7 plus 9 is a 16. That's going to beat the DC of 10. They're going to take 2 damage. That brings them down to 3. They lose another one because they're poisoned. They're plagued here. Bang. That drops them down to 2. They're diminished. So we're going to roll a power or a morale test here. Power test? Morale test? I always forget. It's a morale test. DC 13. They get a plus 1. That's a 9. They're going to drop down to 1. And 1 casualty left. And the Ashen Lance is not even going to... no, they're going to do it. They're going to do it because they realize that this is their last chance to do so. So they're going to go after them again to try to take them out. If they do, that's going to drop them 2 here. Yeah, that's a real problem. Defense is 11. The Ashen Lances are about to take them out. Yeah, with a 9, that absolutely clears it. They're out to 0. These are broken. The Ashen Lance is left decimated. Even though Deseo laughed and said, even in life, you could not defeat us, the Ashen Lance ripped through, and you hear Kashina's voice echo across the battlefield. But in death, we take all. That is going to be 2 down from the Black Iron Pact. They are sitting at 11 points. Uh-oh. Okay. Cloak is up. Cloak's got both? No, Cloak's just got the Forest Mist. I think that's it. That's correct. Cloak just has the Forest Mist. So they're gonna try to take these folks out. They've got a plus 5 against a 9 defense. Great. They're gonna do some damage there. That's gonna drop down a casualty. They've got a plus 4 to their power. Toughness is 12. It's 23 on their power test. That's gonna bring these folks down to 2. But they can't be diminished. They are Harriers, so they're gonna. This Bone Bags can only target the Forest Mist on their turn. It's not gonna be too much of an issue there. And that is the end of Cloak's activation. Again, Cloak pointing, and then holding. Point, hold, forward. That's what they're doing. Carr kind of laughs and. Time to get loosed up. Seeing as it does not matter here, they're going to advance and they're going to use the march maneuver to go up twice. Boom, boom. This rank has collapsed, so now they can attack in the from the reserve, and also that rank has collapsed. So these elf artisans use their maneuver, so they're not able to do anything there. Okay, that's the end of Cars. Cars just gonna be like, we're moving up. Cannon. and the light shall shine down. First up, the Forest Mist. Forest Mist is going to once again attack these bone bags. We got 2 remaining. Attacks +5. They need to beat a 9. 16. Forest Mist attacking again with the Harriers. They're able to. They're gonna keep these bone bags preoccupied. Their toughness is 12. They've got a +4 to their power. 2 on the power test though. Not able to break these bone bags. It says, but the light remains as these elf Pegasus riders are going to come down and, God, go after the Ashen Lance. They've got to go after the Ashen Lance. They're going to swing down, and you know what? They're even going to do, they're going to use their maneuver Land and Charge. So, Land and Charge is, well, this unit has the aerial type. It can use a bonus action to make a DC 11 command test. So they got to make their command test. Command is +2, and they need to make an 11 or higher, so it's 9 or higher. 2 is not going to do it. What? The light? Okay. That failed. They still have their action, though. And they are going to attack. They're going to go after the Ashen Lance. 15 defense. It's +7 to attack. So they got to get an 8 or higher. 8's an 11. That's going to do it. So the Ashen Lance take a casualty. And they're going to have a power test here. Power test is going to be a 3 on the die, +3 is 6. Not going to be enough to beat that 17 toughness. These Ashen Lance, these whites, just keep circling around. And even though these Pegasus fly down, boom, necrotic energy exploding off as they get anywhere close. That is... Yeah, looks like that's it for them. Okay, Lord Erasmus Deseo, pissed off. He's going to fire these elf archers. Absolutely targeting the Ashen Lance here. It's the most dangerous unit on the field. It's +4 to attack against 15 defense. Nat 20, let's go, baby. A volley of arrows fall down onto the Ashen Lance. And next up is the power test, which is +2 against a 17. That's not enough, though. So not able to do another bit of damage, but certainly able to take some casualties out. Followed up by the cavalry. The cavalry are going to come out. That's +4 here for the cavalry against the defense of 15. 2 is not going to do it. And you can hear Deseo go, Let's think tactically. Argon is up. Argon's not going to move. Oh, no, Argon can attack because its rank is collapsed. So Argon is going to attack. What is Feast? At the end of this unit's activation, if any dimension unit is adjacent to it, increment this unit's casualty dice. Oh, that's nuts. Okay. So they are going to attack. Attacks +5. This is a defense of 10. Nat 20. Rolling some 20s here. It's going to be down to 5. And then we've got power test, toughness of 12, power +5. 13 total on the power test. Now we're going to do some stuff here. That's going to drop it down to 4. Okay. Okay. That'll hold. That is Argon's turn. Next up is Scarlet Shadow. Scarlet Shadow is all of the artillery. Is that it? So they're going to fire. What is wounded here? I mean, they need to drop this. They need to get 5 casualties. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How do they only have 7? They had 17? Am I crazy? Oh, they're up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have 4, and they have 5. I mean, they might be able to take these guys out. All right, so they're going to fire. It's a defensive 11, and they've got +3 to attack. 16 will do it. It's dropping down to 5. These Pegasus riders are taking arrows to their bellies. Power test +1. Toughness is 9. That's going to do it again. They're going to deal damage of 1, taking another casualty. And these skeletal archers are going to do the same thing. That's going to be +3. Another volley. That's 12. It is going to beat the defensive 11. So they're down to 3. They need to make a morale test of 13. They're eternal. That's not going to help them, though. So they need to make a morale test here. 13, they get +1. Ooh, nice. They're going to succeed. And then yeah, okay. And now the power test, and they get a +1 +2 because they're in the guard tower. So they get an additional 3, and they need to beat a 9 toughness. They need a 6 or higher. They got a 12. So we're going to see Elf Pegasus Riders only have 2 casualties remaining as the Pegasi fly up into the air after going after the Ashen Lance, and then just pelted with volley after volley of arrows. The Grim is up. The Grim is going to use yeah, they're going to go after these suckers, the Forest Mist, over in the rear. They get +3 to attack. They're a defensive 14. 9 + 3 is 12. Not going to do it. So that's not going to be able to help. So the skeletal cavalry was not able to do anything there. And then bone bags are going to attack now. And of course, both of them have to go there. So +2, +2, +1 for power. So we're going to see. We're going to go up against the left one first. Bone bags. That will hit, and they're going to do a power test here. That's a 9 + 1. So they're going to do some damage here. That's going to be 3. Forest Mist need to make a power morale test. They're going to fail the morale test. So now they've got 2, but the power test wasn't successful. Bone bags, +2 against 14, and +1 against 14. So first one is the attack, not enough to beat that defense. So the one unit of forest mist are getting pretty battered up, taking casualties, heavy casualties. And the forest mist, you know, on the right flank, still surviving. All right, Kashina Darwin, not doing much here. The Ashen Wind, or the Ashen Lance, are about to just fuck some shit up. They cannot attack the aerial, so they're going to go after the Forest Mist over here. They have a +11. They're going up against a 14. They need a 3 or higher, and they get a 7. So that's going to take them down to 1. And they're going to try to do this. You got +9 power. Need a 5 or higher. They just get the 5. That is going to remove the the forest mist from the Black Iron Pact. They've got 9. 3 more will end this. 3 more tiers. All right. Ashen Lance going after the Forest Mist. It's a +11. Absolutely going to do it. That's going to deal 4. Now comes the power test. Power test is +9. They need a 5 or higher. They get a 16. They're going to take 2 damage. That brings them down to 2. They're going to be plagued. That brings them down to 1 casualty. And they are now diminished. They need to make a morale test +2. They need 11. They get 12. They stay on the board. These folks, the Forest Mist, at a moment of just getting completely decimated by these Ashen Lance that came out of nowhere, and they see that their friends, colleagues are being chased off of the field already by these Ashen Lance, and they curl and start coming to them, and you hear Cloak just hold the call the defense line, and they brace and survive. Oh man, this is round 3. Cloak is going to go and attack with the Forest Mist. They're going to try to take out these bone bags. Here we go. That's a 10. That's going to beat the defense. That's 1. And can they take it out? With the 17, they're going to do it. They're going to wipe out these bone bags here. Finally, the Soulbinders are taking some casualties. Okay. That's Cloak. That's all Cloak can do. Next up is Carr, Master of Jackals. Carr is going to move the Elf Artisans here, and then both are going to try to attack here. First up, Elf Artisans +3. They need an 8. They got a 16. They're down to 4. Or do they need yeah, they got more. And then they've got toughness of 14. Power's 2. They needed 12. That won't do it. But the other one, +3 to attack. Again, their defense is up by 2, so 13. They need 10 or more. That's a 16. There we go. Last one already beat 10, so I didn't need to do that. But that they take a casualty from the Elf Artisans. These are just regular guys, you know, every day. +2 power against their toughness of 14. It's not going to do it. So they aren't able to do much more other than take a casualty at the gates. That's Car. I don't think Car has anything else. No, I think this is Cannon. Yep. Up here is Cloak. Great. Cloak was able to do stuff. Okay, Cannon. Here's the one who's got some, you know, damage here. Cannon is going to attack with these Elf Pegasus Riders. And just try to get a point or two. No, they're the only ones that can really take out these Ashen Lances. So they're going to do it again. They're going to try to do land and charge. And they're going to try to smash into these guys. So this is going to be a +7 to attack against a 15 defense. They need an 8. They need an 8. Oh, sorry. This is command of 11, though. DC 11 command test. That's a 13. Okay, so now they have 8 + 7 will give us 15, so they need an 8 or higher. Oh my God, they missed. Oh, they missed. And now they're on the ground. These Elf Pegasus Riders land and begin charging, hopefully to get a bigger damage. But they missed against the Ashen Lance. Ashen Lance are just dominating right now. That's it for Cannon. These Pegasus Riders can now be attacked by cavalry. Oh God, sits there and is like, the light shall land on these undead, and we shall. Oh, my lord, what do we do? They're down. This has totally flipped here. Lord Erasmus DeSeo, Elf Cavalry and Archers. Cavalry are going to try to take out. Man, they can't do anybody in the fortifications. They're going to go after the Ashen Lance. +4 against a 15 defense. That one. Uh-oh. And then the Archers. Archers are going to try to take them out as well. +4. Okay, the Archers are going to hit. So a volley of arrows rain down here. But they're dead, so they are not going to be diminished. They're going to hope for this power test to work. It does. Power test. Deal another casualty. The Ashen Lance have 2 casualties remaining. This might be it, folks. It's round 4. 4 grueling rounds. Argon Rail has won. They're able to attack +5. It's an @ 1. Okay, Argon Rail +5 is done. Scarlet Shadow here. They're going to go after this. If they get 3, they take them out. Now, it's at the end of the round, so they really still have some work cut out for them. But these Archers are going to go after these Elf Pegasi here. They've got 2 casualties remaining. It's +3 going up against defensive 11. No good for the first one. They've got another Archer here. Oh! Both volleys of arrows miss. Scarlet Shadow unable to finish it off for him. The Grim here. Grim is going to move over these Bone Bags. Bone Bags are going to attack the Forest Mist. Forest Mist has a defense of 14. They needed 12 or higher. 18 will do it. We'll take a casualty here. And that's it for the Forest Mist. Getting out. These skeletons just kind of come over, waltz on over, and And the Grim looks over and says, "We end this. One casualty away. They can take out these Pegasus Riders. It's kind of the end." And the Grim's going to try to do exactly that. They've got a +3 to attack. +3 against this defense of 11. Here we go. It's a 2. Nothing. That is the end of the Grim. All right, Kashina's up. So first thing Kashina's going to do is going to go after these Elf Artisans with Ghoul Infantry. +5 to hit. It's 13. So that's definitely going to do it. They're going to drop down to 5. Now the power. Power's +5. They got to beat a 12. They got a 19. Oh boy. They're down to 4. Ghoul Infantry from it breaks out. These Elf Artisans are just basically anybody who they could grab, and they wallop them out of the gates. And now Kashina Darrowwind, from the help of the Glycerhelm coalition of nobles here, the Ashen Lance that was gifted, they've got to take out these Elf Pegasus Riders. Their defense is 11. Their attack is 11. They can now attack them because even though these are aerial, they dropped down and became cavalry for the full activation with hopes of trying to do a little more damage. So now here we go. The Ashen Lance, +11 against a defense of 11. 18. 18 is definitely going to take out 1 casualty. And now their power is +9. Their toughness is 9. Anything will do. 6 will do. They're going to deal 2 damage with that power test. Black Iron Pact down to 4 casualties total left, or 4 tiers remaining. They still have another attack. The Elf Artisans are the only ones weakened, or both Elf Artisans are weakened. It's +11. They have a defense of 10. 18 is going to definitely wallop it. They've got a toughness of 12. They've got a power of 9. They need a 3. They get a 7. Okay. So they just dealt 3, plus they have plagued, which means they're poisoned, and these Elf Artisans are broken. Out again. Absolute MVP here. These Ashen Lances. Okay. Kashina Darwin just starts laughing from the top of this city gate. Cloak can't do anything. Has nothing left. Carr, Master of Jackals, gonna try with these Elf Artisans here. And they are going to roll an attack. Here we go. 15 is going to do it. They're going to take casualty. And then another power test, so +2. That's 15 total. Their toughness is 14. They don't get a bonus to toughness. So that's going to drop down to 2. I don't know. I don't think this is enough. I don't think it's enough. Carr says, we're not going down without a fight. Lord Erasmus, we have this. Cannon looks. Cannon has nothing. Says, my lord, the light has left us. We must retreat. And Lord Erasmus DeSalle looks and goes, pot shots, and we'll break in. And so they fire a single volley right here to this ghoul infantry with the hopes of getting a stronghold. All right, so the +4 to attack. They need to beat an 11 defense. That's a 7, and they don't do it. Clang, 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 off the city gates, off the wood. We must retreat. The Black Iron Pact started this with a 17-13 advantage in the beginning of phase 1. A 17-13 advantage. They end completely decimated with their units. The final score: Soulbinders 12, Black Iron Pact 3. What's crazy is there's 0. This is the first time that it's been 0 defended, or because there's nobody who was in a fortification took out a unit. So yeah, there's no round 2. There's no phase 2. We skip directly into phase 3. So phase 3, Cannon, Cloak, Lord Erasmus, and Carr, compared to Argon, Kashina, Bradley, the Grim, and Scarlet Shadow. And I'm gonna go over here. Let's see real quick. 1, 1, 1. Rasmus gets 2. Carr gets 1. Kashina gets 2. Bradley gets 2. So everybody gets 2 except for Argon. And here, Carr gets 1, and Erasmus gets 2. So they get 2. They get 2. They get 2, and they get 1. And then Elf. Sayo gets 2. Carr gets 1. All right. We're in initiative, baby. First up, Scarlet Shadow. Scarlet Shadow is going to stand up and say, Oh, Jesus. It says, I will take out. I'll take out the loud one. So they're all going to get half hit points to start. Everybody gets half hit points to start. Rounded down. And you can see, these folks have essentially twice as many hit points. It's going to be real problematic real fast. Okay. Scarlet Shadow. Scarlet Shadow is going to go. And they get Assassinate. So during his first turn, Scarlet has advantage on attack rolls against any creature who hasn't taken a turn. He has a short bow attack. Yeah, he's just going to fuck him up real quick. So first thing he's going to do is use his... so he has multi-attacks. So Scarlet makes 3 Shadow Blade or 3 short bow attacks. His short bow... He doesn't have a short bow. So I think it meant long bow attacks. So he's plus 10 to hit. So he's going to move his long bow. He's immediately going to take a step back, though. Go 5, 10, 15. Duck over here. He has advantage on all attacks of anyone who hasn't gone yet, and he starts first. So first up is Cannon. Cannon has an 18 armor class, and the longbow is plus 10 to hit. So he needs an 8 or more. Here we go. That's a 10. So he is going to deal 11, 1d8 plus 7 longbow. And he's going to use sneak attack. So 46. 1, 2, 3, 46 plus a d8. Here we go. So d8's 8, and that's 10, and that's 15, plus 7, right there. So 15, 8, 23 plus 7, that's 30 points of damage against Cannon. Cannon is down to 2 hit points. Takes a shot. He has advantage. Yep. That's a piercing damage. And then he's going to do another attack. He's going to try to take Cannon out here with another longbow attack. We're going to speed this up. So... Oh, it's a critical hit. The first hit Scarlet scores against a surprise creature is a critical hit. Oh, I'm not even going to roll all that damage. That's supposed to be double all of that dice. So essentially, I'm going to roll it. 4 plus another 8, a d8. So everything twice. That's going to be right there. 10, 16, 21. So 21 additional points of damage to Car. Car drops with that first hit, completely out. So Cannon is dead. Cannon is dead on the field. And he has 3 hits left. All right, so he's going to... he's going to assassinate... Yeah, he assassinated Cannon right in there. And he says, I have silenced the Lord of Light's speech. The light is not here. We are the hallowed dark. And once again, firing the longbow, that voice echoes through the corridor as he gets advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn. Next up is Car. It's 19 on the dice. So he's going to deal... This is only 1d8 plus 7. Because he does not get sneak attack damage on this one. So... Oh, that's just going to be 8 points of damage. That's okay. That's 27 points. So Car's still up, but definitely damage. And then the last one is going to be an additional advantage here. Nat 20. Uh-oh. Okay, so with a nat 20, we're going to look at 2d8 here. I name a d8. Two d8 right here. Here we go. That's 5 plus 7. We're going to deal 12 points of piercing damage. To Lord Razum's Desea. And then as a bonus action, they're going to hide. So he's going to roll a stealth here. Stealth is 7 plus 13, so that's a 20. They don't know where he is. So he's going to basically be invisible. And then he's going to run back 5, 10, get through that secret door, 15, 20. He's going to camp out right there. Okay. Now it's the Grimm's turn. Holy smokes, they might clear him out entirely. Again, Kashina over here has a morale surge too. And if they ever get to round 4, this whole team has a morale surge. The Grimm... So, Bradley has advantage on saving throws. That's fine. Makes 3 halberd or 3 longbow attacks. Oh, and it's also, he gets 2 of these guys. Run up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, and they're going to make attacks themselves just because That's 14 plus 2. That's going to hit. So this sucker is gone. This one's going to stay. Nice. So these minions take out a hit there for Scarlet. Radley first is going to send theirs. Gonna get there. Gonna move there. And they're going to send their minions and attack. 17's going to hit. It's going to take that one out. And what we're going to do is we're going to move up a little bit further. And now they can't really move. That does create, or no, sorry, instead of moving up, they're going to move back. And leave open lanes for Radley. Radley can move up 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20. They're going to see Cloak here. And the first thing they're going to do is going to make 3 halberd attacks. They don't even need to get that close. We'll do that. So a halberd is plus 10 to hit, reach 10 feet, 1 target, and it's going to be a D10 plus 7 slashing damage. They're going to use their exploit opening. So when Radley makes an attack, she has advantage on the attack roll. She's going to use exploit opening. Right off the bat, that's 19. So 19 is going to hit. That's going to be a D10 plus 7. So let's go to our D10. 8 points of damage. Now, I'm pretty sure features... Oh, I need to add more features. Because I'm pretty sure our friend here is going to be able to dodge some of this stuff. No, she can't dodge. Okay. So that's 1 plus 7. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's 8. And she's got 2 more explorer openings. And yeah, she's gonna do it. Or alternatively, she makes 1 halberd attack and uses backswipe. And you know what? I think she's gonna use backswipe instead. So she's gonna make a, yeah. So she comes up and takes the halberd, catches Cloak. Cloak's armor starts to rip and tear right on the neck. And turns, and as she does, she like kind of does like a backflip to get off. But as she lands down, the Grim kind of swings that halberd again, knocks her hands out, and we need to make a DC 18 strength save. That is not great. That's a plus 0 on strength, so they need to roll an 18. Here we go. Here we go. That's a 7. Okay, so this is going to be 3d10. Bludgeoning damage. That is 20 bludgeoning damage. Plus, they are prone. They're at 4 hit points. They're prone. That's grappled. There's prone. Okay. The Grim kind of looks over and goes, stay down. Okay, Argon Rail. Yeah, Argan's gonna look and go, I didn't see. So he's gonna move because I gotta double check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 40, 40, 35. He's gonna step up. 5, 10, 15. Gonna send 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5. Oh, and that's the only one that they can do, right? Yeah. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's going to try to take out the last one here with his little minion. So we're going to roll for the minion here. Boom, 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 boom. 16 is going to hit. That minion is gone. The zombie's kind of grabs and rips away that elf. The elf shrieks as he's eaten alive in front of them, and he goes, I didn't ask how big the room was. And they're going to cast Fireball. It's a 20-foot radius sphere, which I can do here with my little... Just going to make it, and we're going to move it right there, so it only hits the 1, 2, 3. So all 3 of these need to make a dex save. This dex save is +7. It's DC 18. So first up is Carr. Carr's going to make dex save here. 18. That is 10 + 7. That's going to be failure on Carr. Next up is Erasmus. Erasmus is a +0 on dex, so it needs an 18 or more. And that's a 6, so that's a failure. And last up is Cloak. Cloak has a +7, but is prone, so going to be rolling with disadvantage. That's an 8. +7, that's a 15. All 3 fail. All 3 fail their dex save. That is going to be 12d6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and I still need another d6. Holy smokes. No, I need a lot more d6. That's 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Folks, it is 6:56. I have another team coming in 4 minutes. Is this round going to end right here in 4 minutes? Let's find out. Here's the roll. I've got 6, 9, 10. That's 10. I've got 10. A lot of ones. A lot of ones. I've got 10, and I've got 7. 1, 2, 3, 7. 37. They all are going to take full damage as this fireball erupts outside. And you can see Lord Erasmus Desayer go, what? No. And 37. Cars out. 33. Lord Erasmus gone. Absolutely gone. Argon looks, says, the only light that they have seen is the light of our fire and our flame. All shall be engulfed in the flames of the hallowed dark. And the crowd loses their mind. This is the end here. So that's the end of our... oh, and I can see we have some folks in the Foundry already. So let's look at this real quick. In the official bracket, Argon Rail succeeded in taking out 3 of the enemies in combat. And they got 3 points, so 6 total points. Lord Erasmus got 0. Down here, so that means that Argon Rail advances. Okay, down here, Carr got 0. Not great. And Scarlet Shadow did take 1 out, and also Team 1. So that's going to be 4 total points for Scarlet Shadow. Scarlet Shadow advances to round 2, Sweet 16 here. Over here, Kashino Darwind got the points, didn't get any kills, and nobody got any points for the defense, the stronghold defense. Cloak got 0. Cloak put on a challenge, but Kashino Darwind really. The Grim ended up getting also 0 people, but did get points for the team win. And shout out to Kashina, even though 0 points, really did some damage with all of those victories, and like really took it on in phase 1. All right, folks, that is the conclusion here. Next up is it's going to be an exciting one. It's going to be the West Marchers 2nd unit versus the Scale Guard themselves. So we will be right back at you with a really exciting matchup. I'm excited. All right. Till then, go forth and conquer.